Welcome to Postgame Podcast. I'm your host, June. I got my boy B Foster in the building.
Detroit basketball.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I as promised, I said if we won, we'd be live. We'd be right back here. We was here yesterday. I think this is the first time we've ever done a back-to-back shows, back-to-back days for the Pistons. I feel good. First off, make sure you subscribe to Bleachers Speakers on YouTube. Make sure you're following us for your audio fix on all the podcast aggregators. Just type in Postgame Podcast, FFSN in your search. Make sure you have that notification bell on, so when we drop content, you'll get an alert. You won't miss a thing. And then you download those episodes for us. Foster. Great game, man. From our vantage point. I mean, I've been waiting to beat the Bulls. They have had they've had their way with us as of late, and it helped Levine wasn't playing today.
Definitely.
And it makes you wonder.
Personal reasons.
Personal reasons, huh? You just take off for personal reasons near the trade deadline. And as the game is going, we're watching, we're paying attention. Levine's not playing, and we're wondering, will he be here by Thursday? Right?
Thursday, is that the day?
Thursday is the 6th.
Okay.
So we're wondering,
is he on the way? Is he in?
Me and Foster is saying, who do we give up for Levine? And we had this list of, at first, Cade was the only one that was untouchable. But as we were talking, me and Foster came up with a list, and the list just got longer of who we should move, because we were watching this game, and the people, we saw the glimpses of greatness that this group can be together. Because first it was just Cade, right? No, well, and that's what it's going to be. Cade is not on that. He's the untouchable list, right? Then you see Duren. Duren had a nice game today against Bougie Man. Bougie Man got his, but Duren was not backing down, and he was running the floor. He was getting rebounds. He was putbacks, oops, play tough. So for me, Duren can't go anywhere. He has to stay.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I'm tinkering with the young people now. I don't want Ivy to leave, but if you have a shooting guard for a shooting guard to leave, and it had to be, he's hurt right now. I don't want him to leave, but I get it. So I'm not going to put him on the untouchable list. And then I'm watching Ron Holland just playing defense and running the floor and creating turnovers, getting steals. And I'm like, he can't go nowhere.
He's becoming a demon in that backcourt, where that imbalance play where everybody's kind of sleeping, and he acts like he's about to head down the court, and then he turns around real quick and gets that, like, those steals. When it happens against you, they're so backbreaking. It's like, we can't even get it in the inbound. Like,
he's creating them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm watching, I'm like, well, Ron is on that list.
Today is.
Might change next week, man. It might change in a couple of days, but Thompson is on that list. I've been saying that even before he even played a minute. We're keeping Thompson. I don't know, Foss. Like, Foss has a plan, though. Foss came up with, Hardaway, Fontecchio, second round, Levine, right?
I mean,
I ain't mad at that.
I mean, no, yeah, of course, that's brilliant if you can make that happen. But the Bulls would suicide watch it if that happens. That might be not good to say on YouTube, but
Yeah,
that would be pretty bad,
that would be pretty bad. But I've seen Stranger Things, Foster.
man.
When people are trying to get rid of somebody, it's like, what? You know what I'm saying? And you know what? And this is all in the midst of a big trade last night where Anthony Davis goes from the Lakers to Dallas, and Dallas traded Luka, and that's something that I never would have imagined that would have happened. Right? You can talk about the other people that went, but the big thing about that trade is Dallas giving up Luka and the Lakers giving up Anthony Davis for him. That's the story of that trade. Never mind all the other stuff that, because it wasn't just a player for player thing. It was some players involved, some other players involved, but that was the bulk of it. That exchange right there. Foster, I never would have thought that the Lakers would trade for Luka. I never thought Dallas would trade him, first off, right? And the main thing the Lakers have always said is we need a big man, right? So, and from my understanding, what's his name? There's another big fella, Justin Hayes or whatever his name. He went to Dallas as well, right?
Mm-mm.
There's somebody else on
He's the only center they have left. So Dallas, who else did Dallas get? They got Max Christie, one of the Christie sons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got him, and then they got a future draft pick, a 2029 first round pick. So essentially an 8th grader or something, right?
Yeah. So it's like you see that trade and be like, you know what? And my stance is I don't think the Pistons will make a move. I'm starting to think as it gets closer, there may be a move in place. And
you think that the Pistons have a move in place?
Think so.
Why you think that?
I don't know.
Just because crazy things are happening in the world, so it's like,
yeah.
Can't
when I
count on
rule
it.
something out, like, nah, not happening. Because you know what? I did this when it came to the Lions and Zadarius Smith. I didn't think anything was going to happen. Remember, I told you?
I remember. I
don't think nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, Dan Campbell, well, could be.
Yeah. Maybe. It was like, all right, bro. All right.
When he did that, though, I changed my mind. I said, he's up to something. He's up to something. But anyway, I don't know, man. There's certain scenarios where I think this team would be a lot better off with Levine. He's that secondary ball handler, that scorer that can get his own points. You ain't got to set him up much. I don't want to give up too much for him. I don't want to give up Beasley. I don't want to give up. I didn't include. You heard who I said I didn't want to give up before. Do not want to give up. Beasley can't go. He can't go. And I expect him after Thursday to be here for them to offer him a contract extension. Because that's what they're waiting on.
They're waiting on this trade deadline to go by, you said?
Yeah, they had Beasley had a talk with Trajan Langdon. And this was Beasley had actually said this and said he wants to remain a Piston. And he wants to play beyond his remainder of his contract. And Trajan Langdon said, we want you here, but this is a business. There's a lot of playoff teams that want your services. We have to listen to everything.
And he's played for most of them. He's played for the Lakers. He's played for the Bucks. He's played for Denver. Like all the teams that could possibly want him already gave him away.
So, I mean, I think you don't leave any. I think from Trajan Langdon's standpoint is you have to field the offers. And if you don't hear anything worth jumping on, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to field the offers first. You have to see what's going on.
You got to do your due diligence.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be crazy. I mean, you don't last long making emotional choices in business. Like, I like this guy, I'm going to keep him. It's, give him a crazy contract. And then there's somebody that said, oh, man, we was willing to give you
two
two
first round
first
picks.
round
Like,
picks,
bro,
a starter.
hey.
It's just like, hold on, man. We like
All right,
you.
my boy.
You know what I'm saying? Come on now. I mean, let's be realistic about
Be
this.
sensible
Right?
here.
Yeah. I mean, you have to move with a business sense. So I get it. But man, that was a good victory. That's 2 in a row. And I don't recall saying this too many times last year. It's 2 in a row. It's 3 in a row. Like, when's the next game? We play Atlanta, right?
Play Atlanta tomorrow.
Tomorrow, back to back. Yeah. And they're coming for blood. We didn't beat them last couple of times.
And does Atlanta play today?
Hopefully so.
Right. I think they're traveling or whatever. So nah.
What was the final numbers on Cade?
Yeah, hold on a second. Okay.
I'd like to know how much he was getting them in bunches. For he go quiet and then
22 points, 3 rebounds, and 15 assists.
He had a very modest but good game. He had 8 assists in the first half. Yeah. He had 8 assists in the first half. Did he lead the all Pistons scores?
Yeah, Duran had 21, so he was 1 short of Cade, but it was pretty balanced. We had everybody in the starting lineup had double figures, and then Beasley and Fontecchio also had double figures. So we had 7 guys all together. Holland had 8, so we almost had another guy. So very balanced team effort. I think we had, how many assists did we have? 38 assists.
How many rebounds did Duran have?
13.
See, man, you can't.
He was aggressive. He was. I think he plays. I think he plays aggressive against Vucevic every time.
I need to. I'm not saying you have to score 20 and 13 every game, but I need to see that effort.
Yeah, you saw a different level of, because he had his fair share of dunks and transition buckets, but you saw him going at Vucevic. Like, I don't know.
That's what I need to see.
I mean, we know that he's not the most fleet of foot guy, but yeah, I feel like Duran had a little bit of a pep in his step today against Vooch, and Vooch played well too.
How many did Vooch have? He was canning them from outside, man.
He had a triple double, 20, 10, and 10. He had 10 assists too, and 2 blocks.
They was in the first quarter, they were bombing away from 3-point land, and then I think it was might have been third and early in the fourth, they was hitting back-to-back threes.
The third, they kind of got back in the game, and it got pretty close. This team, it has I think they had the 3rd most threes made this year and the 2nd most attempts. So this team,
they hit threes on a regular. It wasn't just us. Okay.
On a regular, they take a ton of threes and they make a ton of threes. And especially with a guy like Zach LaVine who gets to the bucket, it made them even more one-dimensional. I mean, we had 80 points in the paint tonight, and they had 44. So they had just about half the points in the paint. So they were jacking them, but they were making a lot of them.
Giddey got this line drive jumper, and it's money.
And he had 10 rebounds too. Giddey is a great rebounder out of that point guard position. So
how many did Kobe White wind up with?
22, I believe.
He had 10 in the first 2 minutes. He scored 10 points in the first 2 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and he shot 29% from the field, 3 of 10 from 3. Just they took 52 and made 19 threes.
Golly, that's a lot of threes.
Yeah.
How many threes did we take?
30. We were 10 of 30. We actually were pretty bad from 3 tonight.
Yeah.
But we attacked that rim. Honestly, the key to the game was points off turnovers and steals. We have 14 steals. We had 26 points off turnovers. Quietly, one thing that we have not we have not complained about as of late is ball security. We've been taking care of the ball pretty well.
Yeah, I haven't been fussing like that.
You haven't.
Let's take a quick break. We're gonna get back to that because that's definitely a good sign. Yes, we're back. I knew, it doesn't take that long. If you're listening, you had to hear those ads, but we got to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is. Nothing personal. Just a quick little break. Foster, that I fuss about those turnovers. Like, don't turn the ball. Now, there were some. I saw some, but for the most part, it wasn't crazy today, right? I've seen where the Pistons, where Jalen Duren got 2 lane violations back to back.
Oh, man.
They missed the free throw. First one, lame. And I'll give you that, okay? Because everybody has their toes on the line all the time. They don't pay attention to it.
2 in a row is crazy, though.
But 2 in a row. 2 in a row. Back up, buddy. Just back up. But, and then there's stupid inbound passes and just crazy turnovers, bad passing, unforced. It's if a defender makes a great play and steals the ball or, tips the ball so it gets, caught, that's different. But it's the unforced errors, the unforced turnovers, the shooting yourself in the foot that drives me crazy. So I'm always going to be a stickler for turnovers. Take care of the ball. Just take care of the ball. You can't, you gotta get, you giving other team opportunities to shoot, you know what I'm saying, to make baskets. And then most turnovers lead to points in transition. Those are usually easy buckets. So, especially if you got a team that likes to run and pressure the ball, you got to take care of the ball. But I haven't been fussing that much lately, Faust. I haven't been fussing that much lately. I feel good, man. We beat the Bulls, man.
Finally got a win in the division, man.
Yeah, they're kind of spiraling right now because they was tinkering with 500. They're 21-29 right now. They're 8 games under 500, and they were tinkering, right around 500. And it would be nice to have a Central Division show. I'm gonna make sure.
you gonna be.
I missed Monday. I'm gonna make sure. It might be our turn to host.
I think we missed the last one.
You were there though.
Nah, the last one we were supposed to have, there ended up being no. It was like around the national championship.
That was national champ. I knew it wasn't gonna happen that.
But I think that was our particular one. So I don't know. It may be us. It may be us.
It might be our turn to do it. But I'm gonna check on it and see. I'll be glad to do an Eastern Conference show.
And we'll have a game that night too. So
then again, I won't be glad. I'm just keeping it real. I don't want to miss any basketball. I just don't.
We always play on Monday, bro. That's crazy.
I hate that the show is scheduled for 8:00. It's prime time. Mondays. We play a lot on Mondays.
Yeah, because we played last week against Cleveland on Monday and the time before. Yeah, so.
Yeah. So it is what it is, man. I just don't want to do it, man. I don't want to do it. Today is February 2nd, but Foster, I want you to, without saying the number online, I want you to look at the megaphone numbers, the downloads.
No, I saw it.
Oh yeah.
I just looked.
Oh yeah.
Looking pretty good. Bro.
Well, we do. It's doing. It's doing. It's a good day. Today's a good day. It's a good day. We got Pistons beating the Bulls, division win. a game over 500, 25 full 24. Yeah, right? 25, 24, correct?
I don't know.
The All-Star game is in a couple of weeks. If we can get a good little win streak going into the All-Star break, I would be most happy. That would be good. We got about 4 more games left.
Just about, yeah.
And so it would be really dope to win 4 in a row.
We gotta play the Cavs again. I'm about to.
Ah, man, that ain't going. 3-1. It'll be good to go 3.
Oh, get the.
Hey, man, there's something about them, man. We've always had our problems with them, man.
We got what 1, 2, 3, 4 more games in a row at home.
In a row at home? Now, let me ask you, are you going to any of them?
Not as yeah. I mean, it's possibly, but not.
Let me know if you're going to any. Before you buy, I mean, you probably don't buy tickets. You know, Tom Gores probably invites you.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. You probably get an invite. You know, there's no way you get all these tickets to go. You don't buy all these tickets.
Those be my little dates, man. Come on, now.
Your little dates.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna bother with that, man. Okay. All right.
No, I mean, you know, but I'm just saying. I wish to go to
if you'd like to go to one of these remaining games before the All-Star break, and let's make a plan and go.
We'll figure one out where we don't have to do a Wednesday night show, or you know.
Yeah. So I mean, any night that is not it's not a Wednesday, right? Probably not a Wednesday, probably not a Monday.
Probably not a Monday.
But you know, Friday, Saturday, you know, something like that. We can figure it out. Well, even if it's after the All-Star break, let's go to a game. So that's all I'm saying.
We'll catch one for sure.
Catch one for sure, man.
We got playoff. I mean, well, let me chill out.
Let's slow down a little bit. Let's
I usually spirit, man. Talking about Tigers, man.
I usually let you land, but there's a lot of basketball.
There was a lot of basketball left, but we are cruising.
Hey, man.
We're gonna get better at the trade deadline in some way. It may not be the big splash, because right now, like, I can't imagine, like, they would the deal to trade away Beasley would have to be so sweet, like, because I don't see any big stars. I don't see us going out and getting any. What big stars are really on the market right now? Granted, we didn't think Luka was on the market, but they also had to trade another top 15 player in the world, top 10 player in the world.
They pretty much gave up, I mean, the second best player on their team for him. You know what I'm saying? They had to spend. They had to really spend. Like,
yeah,
Luka is a talent, no doubt.
Because AD is the second best player on their team, but AD is the best player on most teams. Unless it's outside of Giannis.
He's top 5 in the Western Conference for sure.
Yeah.
And we talking Joker, LeBron, then AD probably. Or LeBron, Joker, AD. And, you know, that top 3. So.
Yeah. I just can't see a playoff team, because I like Beasley. Beasley is great with us, right? But the impact that he gives to us is deeper. I mean, I can't say it's deeper than just the threes he made, because he's made a ton of threes, and everybody needs 3-point shooting in the playoffs. But, like, I feel like that impact doesn't hit the same somewhere else, because he's played for the Timberwolves, the Jazz, the Bucks, the Lakers.
I didn't know he'd been to that many teams.
The Nuggets, he was drafted by the Nuggets. But yeah, he's moved around a lot in his career. And the Lakers was like a trade deadline move. That was like a move, you know, a trade around the margins to try to improve, you know, so they could make a championship. So he's been around to winning franchises, and it just doesn't seem to work. I feel like I don't think he goes anywhere else and makes the same impact that he's made here. So just leave that alone. I mean, I know you're looking for first round. I know they're willing to take on salary for first round picks and all that, but nah, it ain't gonna hit the same.
No,
I don't think his heart will be in it.
I think with Beasley, he's a player that wants to be here. You see him super enthusiastic when they come to that bench. He's cheering them on. He just has an enthusiasm to him on the court, and I think he's a glue. He's a locker room glue guy. Like, he keeps the team together, and he's familiar with the community, the area. I say keep him.
And see the reason, and you see the reason why that impact didn't hit the same in Milwaukee is you got Giannis and Dame. His impact and his locker room presence and veteran, it don't hit the same when you got vets.
They don't need him like that for
him.
emotional support. These young guys look up to him. I mean, I don't see Giannis or Dame looking up to Beasley like for moral support.
Beasley's a young dude.
Yeah.
He's 28 years old. It's hard for
you think he's older because of all those teams he's been on.
But I got years on Beasley.
I mean, you would think he's older because of he's been on so many teams.
Yes.
Like it doesn't mean that he's been on 5 teams. He's been in the league 5 years. So that's the way I'm thinking. But you can be on 3 teams in a year. You know what I'm saying? If you get moved around like that, that's just the way it goes.
And when you get drafted into the league at 19, I think he was pretty young when he entered the league. So
yeah. How old is he? 26?
I want to say he's 28.
28, okay.
But he's played on 5 teams. He's played on because those mid-season trades you play on a couple of different teams.
Right.
But yeah, he's played on Denver, Minnesota, Utah, LA, Milwaukee, and now Detroit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams, and he was drafted in 2016.
I'm gonna say one thing though. If Ron Holland and Arthur Thompson develop consistent outside shooting, cancel Christmas.
I think it's gonna be Holland though. Holland looks pretty comfortable in the corner.
He is not shy of shooting. I don't care how many he misses from 3-point line. He's taking that shot, and it takes a lot of nerve to do it. You got to have courage. I mean, if you're not a good shooter and you still firing it up, I mean, and it's like he's taking them with confidence. So you have to account for it. You have to have your defense. You got to run out there on him. So what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to, when they start running out there on him, I mean, you got to put the ball on the floor, get to the rack, or whip that mug around. But Cade, I can't say enough about Cade, man. 22 and 15. Like the last time he had like assists like that and scored 22, they won convincingly. Like when he doesn't have to score 30 or 40, the game looks relatively easy because he's getting those assists as well. You know what I'm saying? If he's struggling for the field and only get 22, then that's different. But he wasn't, he didn't struggle to get to 22 points. He was just passing a lot. He had 8 assists at half. And I'm thinking, yeah, he's definitely gonna get a double-double for sure. And he had 14 assists in the second half. And I like what I'm seeing from Duren. He's actually turned the page. If we can get that effort on a regular, running the floor, putbacks, you see him getting, just getting an offensive rebound. And if we can get that effort, it's going to be a lot of centers on notice. They know they got to run.
And the synergy that him and Cade have on those
hoops. He just
Like,
lobbing it up there, and he
it's
goes.
pretty automatic. It's pretty automatic, and K gets him up there in all different types of ways. Like it's
That
never.
last one today, I didn't think he was going. I said, no way. The last one, he just threw it up there, and he was like, it was near the end of the game, and he went up there and got it. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, and he'll at least get a hand on it. If he gets a hand on it, it's gonna get towards the rim.
Down.
Yeah.
It's going down. It's going down. And I was like, man, I'm thinking the whole game, because I see him and I know he's playing Bougie Man. And it's like, you can't get rid of him. You can't. No, this guy, he just needs another year or so. Be patient with him. I think by the end of this year, he's going to be scary. Definitely next year, he's going to be scary. But that's your go-to guy for K. That's your 1 and 2. Think that's your 1 and 2. The great teams have a 1 and 2.
You think that's the one? You think that's the 1 and 2? That's the second. When everybody maxes out, you think Duran's your second leading scorer?
I hope so. At one point,
that'd be nice, but not if he not if he's still a dunk merchant. Like you're gonna have to do more than dunk.
He got 20 today. That's all he needs.
20 today, but
if he continues to run the floor,
yeah,
continues to get offensive rebounds. One thing about it though, and that's with the NBA. There's not a lot of teams that go into the post with a pass.
Nope.
That's just those days are gone, right? Your center is either creating his own shot, like Joker. You get a ball to Joker, and he's going to create his own shot.
It works.
Or you're just one of those centers that get lobs and offensive rebounds and this, that, and other. So there's not a lot of entry passes into the post. You have to have a center that hits jumpers nowadays to get points.
I mean, damn near threes. I mean, look at like Jokic, you look at Vucevic, you look at Porzingis. These guys can shoot threes.
They can shoot threes.
And bro, Embiid, like as funny as we, as much we dog Embiid for playing half the game.
Shoot.
AD.
Yeah, they can shoot from outside. You gotta account for them on the outside. And you don't really go into the post with Embiid. You can get the ball to him on the top of the key and he goes to work.
I mean, he does draw a lot of fouls, so I mean he can work, but
oh yeah, he's definitely you could draw plays for him to get the ball in the post and let him work, you know what I'm saying? But that's more an exception to the rule of how it's been playing. Usually you don't go in the post to a center, your center has to scrape and get whatever so he may not be your 1 and 2. But I'm just talking about as far as might not be 1 and 2 scorers, but those are your dangerous people on the court because he can do other things. Like those rebounds, he's going to be a great rebounder. He's going to be a great rebounder. He's very good now. He's going to be a great rebounder. So he might not be your number 2 scorer, but that could be your 1 and 2 punch because of what he does. The only thing that's holding him back is the defense.
And that's
it's getting better.
If you can continue if you can find ways to keep an Asar Thompson around you, it's gonna make his life a lot easier, I think.
He gets a lot of steals though. He gets steals.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty athletic. He's pretty athletic. So
he just lets guards shoot over him in the paint.
I don't know what that's about, but absolutely.
They score over him in the paint, and I don't get it.
Kurt kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. But
yeah, I'm like, oh man, here you go, and one probably.
He's got to cut down on the fouls too. When he faces guys like when he faces like those Embiids and Porzingises and those, he gets in foul trouble. Jokic, he gets in foul trouble in a hurry.
Yeah.
But we get to see more Paul Reed, which is always a blessing. So,
And man, I like Paul Reed, man.
bro, he's one of those guys that it's like, hey, he plays well. He doesn't play often, but when he does, rarely do you say, you know what, Paul Reed was just not very good today.
I mean, is he on one of those offers for Levine?
I mean, I don't know maybe.
Yeah,
You certainly
get
can't
somebody
say
else.
I mean, if they come to you and say, hey, we can make this happen, but we need Paul Reed, it's like,
Everybody
hey.
can go, bro. Everybody can go. Our path is our path. You have your destiny. The Pistons have theirs. I mean, go be great, young man.
Yeah, he really needs to snap. If he get to if he get to play 30 minutes a game in Chicago, he needs to go snap. That's for sure.
For sure.
Go get that bread, man. Get that real contract.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's see. I guess we can wrap it up, man. I mean, this was an impromptu show. We didn't plan on it. It was 50-50 whether we was gonna go live today, right? Because it was based on what the Pistons was gonna do today, right? If they were gonna win, we were going to go live. I said I was gonna go live if we won. And we wasn't quite sure until about 4 or 5 minutes into the left with the fourth.
It felt good. It felt good for most of the game,
They kept closing it a little bit.
It's a little annoying. Yeah, they were pesky. They were pesky out there. They shot 90% from the free throw line. I'm like, damn.
And they kept firing up those threes, and those are always dangerous.
Those add up after a while.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, all right, you're gonna play like this, because I think the Pistons went up 19 and they hurried up and cut it down to like 11.
Yeah, Kobe got hot. Yeah, it was Kobe, Giddey. Yeah. What you think of Lonzo Ball today? Because once again, that's a guy. Maybe it's not Levine. Maybe we go and get a guy.
Alonzo looks like he's looked good out there. He hit a couple threes. He
hit one early in the game. It was like, oh, okay, is that what you want?
He hit one in the first quarter. That's when they was bombing in the first quarter. He hit one in the third or the fourth too, and it was like, and he's very active with his hands defensively.
He can rebound.
He's been one of those. I don't know. They mentioned something about him having like degenerate some with his knee at first. So I don't know if you take a chance with him.
He's an expiring deal, though. I mean, yes, he could go down he could get hurt tomorrow. Fair enough, but he's an expiring deal.
But do you trade anybody for him? That's the thing. That's the thing that's gonna hurt.
I mean, I don't think they asked for much. What does the only thing that Lonzo Ball can do for them, unless they have long-term plans with them, which you would have to take a massive pay cut given the fact that they're trying to cut salary and not obtain salary. They can't ask for much, knowing that he's going to expire at the end of the year anyway. So I think that they can't. He's not worth a first round pick. Absolutely not. So I mean, if they can acquire an expiring player, an expiring deal like a Tim Hardaway, and maybe a second round pick, I think they take that deal. So Tim Hardaway, he can always come back. He can always come back in the off season for a veterans minimum if he wants to, but everybody can't go. We don't need spot up shooters as much as we need defense and playmaking right now. And the one thing, because I looked at, I knew that the Bulls had a ton of turnovers, right? So I was like, I gotta humor me. How many turnovers does Lonzo Ball have? 1 in 28 minutes. I'll take that.
I like that.
Hey, he shot how many threes he take? He went 3 for 8 from 3.
I like that.
So what does Tim Hardaway do that Lonzo Ball can't do? because Tim Hardaway went 1 for 4 from 3. 12 points. 12 points. He drew a charge. I think he drew one, and I think he tried to draw one, and one of them he probably would have got it had we had a challenge. Yeah.
Kobe White late. Yeah.
So yeah, Lonzo, I'll take him. He started today, right? Because of Levine or for whatever.
Today.
But imagine Ball running your second unit without Cade or playing next to Cade. You got a nice little. You improve defensively. Lonzo is despite the fact that he has injuries and all that, he is still a pretty damn good perimeter defender. Imagine him running your second unit. You're going to make some plays out there. How many assists he had? He had 2 assists. But you got Giddey out there. Giddey is your point guard. Somehow Vooch had 10 assists, though. He's the one that had all the assists.
Yeah.
Weird game.
Yeah. So go ahead and put a bow on this. We'll wrap this up. Great win for the Pistons. Foster, it is on you.
Yeah, so we had a great game against Dallas, and we wanted to follow up that effort with another winnable game against Chicago, which is a divisional foe, and we succeeded in that. We won pretty definitively. We shot the ball well. We dominated the post. We created turnovers. We scored off those turnovers, and I think we have 4 upcoming home games coming up. The team is healthy. The team is suspended bliss, because Stewart is really the only person that's missed games as of late, and that was due to a suspension. He kept it clean today, and the team is playing well. I said the team, I've always said that the team is best when we're creating turnovers and creating and making easy scoring opportunities off of those turnovers, and that was pretty much the name of the game today. We didn't depend on the 3-point shot. We shot 10 for 30 from 3 today, and we still beat them by how many points did we win by today?
I don't even remember the final.
By 8 points, 119 to 127. So we still beat them by 8 points, despite the fact that we shot 30% from 3. So this was a game that Zach LaVine didn't play. So you got to have these type of games, especially at home, and it sets up for some nice momentum, because we have the Hawks coming in. That's going to be another one of those tough games. At the Hawks coming up, and then we got the Cavs. And then we got the 76ers. Ain't no telling who plays in that game. We got the Hornets.
They still play pretty well though when they want to.
Yeah, they do. They just won. Yeah, they're not the prototypical 12 seed in the East. Like they're still very talented, even when Embiid and Paul George don't play. They're a pretty deep team. And then we got the Hornets, and then we got 2 Bulls games coming up, both in Chicago. So weird, interesting, whatever. So a lot of winnable games. Not one game on that schedule outside of Cleveland, but we got to beat Cleveland one of these games, right?
At some point, you would think.
Yeah, and the Hornets always plays pretty tough, but Brandon Miller's out for the year. LaMelo is likely to be just sitting randomly, sitting on the sideline, rocking his chain. So, we're a fairly healthy team outside of Ivy being hurt. So we're going to field a nice roster, and, trade should be, we should have some trades coming up. I'm pulling for CJ McCollum. If we get McCollum out of this trade deadline, I think we will be very much in the driver's seat going into the last stretch of the year.
I don't think that New Orleans would ask a lot for CJ McCollum.
I think they're trying to bottom out right now. I think they are going to try to lose as many games as they can. We already know that Ingram is going to have to get moved. Either that, or they're just going to lose him for nothing because he's not going to re-sign with them. So,
and then Cooper Flag,
right? And we'll see what happens with Zion. Like, well, what are they going to do with him?
They're going to get, if they get Cooper Flag, Zion can kiss it goodbye.
They're not going to put the two Duke guys together.
No, they're going to trade Zion.
Somebody's gonna,
somebody's gonna bite.
Yeah, somebody's gonna take a chance on it. We all know Zion's biting. A lot of bites.
All righty. Well, that'll about do it for today's show. Foster had definitely put a bow on it. I want to remind everyone to please subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. We are trying to get to 300 subscribers. Let's get these subscribers to where we need them to be. It is February. By the end of February, let's have 300 subscribers, right? I'm trying to push that. So in order to do that, I need you to, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, share, like, comment. That way we'll be in the algorithm and that'll help us get subscribers. So everything that you do from that standpoint helps us get the subs. Tell a friend about us. Share it on your Facebook. Do whatever, man. Just make sure we're trying to get to these 300, man. Foster put a bow on it. I'm going to say we may be back here tomorrow night. Who knows? But definitely be back soon because we're going to talk some more Pistons basketball soon. We'll also be going on Bleachers as Speakers and talk some Lions football. I know the season is over, but this week there was no football. Next week is the Super Bowl, correct?
Yes.
So we'll definitely talk some Lions football this week at some point. I know we don't have a lot to talk about, but we're still Lions fans at the end of the day. I see pods, I see podcasts about the Lions every day. So if they have something to say, we got something to say. So tune in, make sure you subscribe so you can get that content.